In today's lesson, we're going to look at the first approach to answering the IELTS academic reading test. By the end of this lesson, you learn the 10-step approach to answering the true or false not given question types, yes, no, not given question types, summary completion, sentence completion, diagram completion, table and flowchart completion, and then lastly, margin features. Now, what are the 10-step approach to answering the various question types I talked about? Let's dive into it, and with each step, I'll tell you the relevance. Step 1 here has to do with looking at the title of the passage. Why is it so important to look at the title of the passage? Remember that you're not going to read the whole passage because you haven't got enough time. You only have 20 minutes to read the passage as well as answer the questions. So mostly the title of the passage will give you a fair idea of what the passage is all about. One thing you should also understand is that it's not all occasions that a passage may have a title. In that case, you have to skip step 1 and then start with step 2. But remember that in most instances, the last question will ask you to give a title to that passage. Once you look at the title of the passage, the next step you have to go into is to look at the question types available. Okay, so the question is it a true or false not given question type? Is it a yes, no, not given question type? Is it a summary completion question type? You have to be able to tell which question type is right in front of you. Also, knowing the question types helps you to pick up the right strategy to approach it. This is very important. And the step 3 here has to do with reading the instructions. So most of the question types may come with certain specific instructions, especially the true or false not given, yes, no, not given, sentence completion, summary completion. You may have instructions like write one word only, write 2 words only. So these are important instructions you have to look at after you have discovered the question type. So if it's summary completion, they may expect you to write a certain number of words. So keep an eye on the instruction, it's very important. Otherwise, you may end up writing the number of words you prefer and eventually you may get the answer wrong. The 4th step is about choosing the right keywords from the questions. This is very important. Now, once you read the instruction, you get stuck to the question. Now, you are going to pick up the right keywords in the questions. So the question is, how do you even know this is the right keyword? Remember, we have done this in the previous sessions. You can go back and look at it one more time. Once you choose the right keywords from the question, the next thing you have to do is to commit the keywords in memory. Remember that you're supposed to keep more than 3 keywords in mind. This is an important action that will help you to stop coming back and forth, and it will save you a lot of time. The next thing you have to consider here has to do with locating the keywords in the passage. This is a very important entity because where you find the keywords are where your answers will be. There's a skill you have to adopt to find your keywords. We have extensively talked about this in the previous lessons. Remember, you need a scanning method to locate your keywords in the passage. And at this point, I believe that you know how to scan the passage to locate your keywords. Now, the next step here has to do with reading the first question. Remember that if it's true or false not given, if it's summary completion, if it's sentence completion, once you have located your keyword in the passage, come back to read the first question, get the understanding, and then let's see what happens next. And step 8 has to do with reading around the keyword in the passage. Remember that it is the keyword that will point you to the answers you are looking out for. So once you locate the keyword in the passage, you are going to read around that area with the skimming method. I've explained this in the previous lessons, and I strongly believe that you can really skim a passage to look out for the general information that may lead you to your answer. And the 9th step has to do with choosing your answer. So once you read around the area, you should be able to get your answer based on the context of the question as well as the context of whatever you've read in the passage. You choose your answer as such. And once you choose your answer, the next step is to track it and then write your answer on the answer booklet. So these are the 10 steps you have to go through to answer the following question types in the IELTS academic reading test.